Well, hello, and welcome to the very empty world. And you know what that means? It's tutorial time, and today we're going to be looking at the innards of the boom house, focusing on how, well, the TNT Duper and the super simple concrete maker. Don't worry, the interesting bit about the nether wood farm is going to be in another video. Just wanted to split the tutorials to make sure you don't wait for 10 minutes to get to what you really want. Not like you are going to check the timestamps anyway. So, the TNT Duper is originally by Ilmango in his 4-type wood farm, link in the description, and the concrete maker was made by someone with a lower brain power. This guy. So, let's start with the actual tutorial. Right, we're going to show this, starting with how to make the TNT duper, and first we need to think about where do we want our TNT to actually explode. And it's going to be, well, whatever block you want, let's say this one, and we're going to go 15 blocks above. So, 19, 12, 13, 14, and 15 blocks above, and our first fence gate, second, and third. And this is going to be the sort of timer that we have for our TNT to actually drop. Activating this, let's put some concrete, well, not cocoa, some concrete. Over here, well, get into this one, we're going to start putting our timers. So going outwards 3 blocks, we're going to get the repeaters that are going to trigger our fence gate, all of them at 4 ticks. Then block, and then another 3 with another set of 3 repeaters, all of them at 4 ticks as well. Then going upwards, 1 block, another block, another block, another block. Right. So after making this small platform, 1 repeater over here, 1 redstone block, and another repeater at 3 ticks, and some redstone dust there. Go into the other side. We're going to place a couple blocks behind the repeaters, and we're going to place 1 observer facing downwards, the other kind of downwards, and another 1 facing downwards as well. Now we need a sticky piston. In, and yet another block. Then out of this block, we're going to get the line that is going to actually activate the second fence gate, all of them at 4 ticks. Right above the last one, we're going to get our wall and another wall. These two are actually going to be the ones that are aligning our TNT when it starts. And you're going to want some glazed terracotta to complete the alignment, and 2 on the other side for good measure. Right, and from this we can start getting together our redstone, our TNT duper. So to get that, we are going to need to place our TNT that is going to go down there, then making this L shape with our slime, and these 2 down here. Then by the very end, we're going to place 1 dead coral fan, and on top our detector rail and our minecart. So from this, we can actually get, we should get our sticky piston, which is going to be the one moving and activating the TNT duper. And this sticky piston needs to be powered by this concrete block. This specific concrete block is going to be activating also this observer of, this piston over here. That, guess it, it's going to have an observer right next, right into it. So every single time that this fires, it's going to start the rest of the system. Right, so to activate this system, we can start getting together our redstone clock. So we're going to start with our repeater set to 4 ticks, then one redstone, well, yeah, one repeater set to 4 ticks facing this way with another block, then a couple blocks coming the other way around, set to 4 ticks, both of them as well. Another block, bring in the signal the other way with yet another repeater, and finally the last 2. We're going to leave this gap over here because that is going to be the way that we actually activate and stop the whole system. So for this system to be activated, we need this, well, we'll have this slime block with an observer facing into it. And that way, well, yeah, facing outwards and transferring the signal into it. And that way we're going to be able to use this sticky piston so that every time, let's get ourselves a lever. So when we place, well, let me get rid of the scaffolding because the whole system should be ready. So now when we flick this lever, it should start the clock. And the duper doesn't quite work. It's not actually working. There's something wrong that I've done over here. Yep, I know what's wrong. I forgot one sticky piston down here. Great, so now that we have fixed the TNT duper, it was basically just adding this block over here that was keeping the duper together. But now when we start our clock, we get our TNT duped and dropped exactly at the time that we want. And with that timing, then we have been able to, well, control more or less where is it going to land. And we do have, well, I don't know if that hole should be as it is, but we do have our TNT duper. Now the approach of the boom house was basically to build your TNT duper and just get across everything that you needed broken. So we're going to actually start getting into that, and we're going to start with the concrete maker. Right, so concrete does have a property that makes it particularly weird to make, and that is going to be the way that it's hardened when it touches water. So what we are going to do is actually use the fact that when it's moving, it is actually not going to, it is not going to get hardened. So if we place a water bucket in there, the concrete is going to, well, let's actually show it. So the concrete powder, if I place it over there, it's going to get automatically hardened as it is sort of static. But if we drop it right above, it doesn't get hardened until it touches the very end, and well, when it gets static, and that way we can actually make a pillar, of concrete just using this property. So this is going to help us actually make the whole column, and once it reaches the top, we'll use our usual observer circuit to just push it across. So knowing that, we're going to adjust the size of the column to the actual, to the actual explosion that we're going to get. So we're going to go up 7 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And on this block is where we're going to have our water source. Then coming across, all of our concrete column is going to be made on top of that. So knowing that we're going to be pushing it with regular pistons, might as well just get this done already. So the concrete powder needs to go on that block above. The only thing that you can't do is going to be putting it over there, because it's going to come in contact directly with the water and it will get hardened. So the trick that we want to do is using our usual observer that is going to be getting it's going to be detecting when a static block stays in there. So we're going to send this signal through this green concrete down below 2 blocks and putting a couple repeaters over there. one of these, well, the first one has to be 1 tick. The second one is going to be 4. These are going to power this block with this redstone torch, and we're going to be observing that redstone torch, a couple concrete blocks, and a sticky piston to actually stop the signal in its tracks. This has to be 1 block below. So with this, we can place our, well, another repeater over here set to 1 tick, and getting some redstone dust to connect both things. And with this, every single time concrete, it all gets detected and we get only 1 signal. So that signal, we want to send it to all of these pistons. So we're going to use sort of the same trick as we did with the piston wall that we used, well, actually over there in our mud converter. And knowing that redstone torches are going to be powering the piston, well, the piston across and the piston below. So if we power all of these, and the trick is going to be unpowering these. That is going to be how we repair our system. All of these are going to actually be unpowered by this redstone torch. Very important. Well, we're going to get a slab column, and it needs to go on the opposite side to our detector, and you'll see exactly why in a sec. So if we get our slabs, and let's get dark prismarine, and I actually needed that redstone dust. So if we get our slabs to send the signal upwards, can get all of our pistons ready for accepting the next batch of concrete. So now that we do have our system ready, we need to find a way of deactivating that redstone torch, and that is going to be done through this repeater over here, and this redstone block that is going to be moved around by this tower of slime. You can use slime, you can use honey, it's kind of up to you. So right next to this, well, facing to be able to push it, we're going to get our sticky piston that is going to be facing into it, and we're actually going to get the signal from this block over here that we were powering before. And actually this kind of completes the whole thing, so let's give it a test. So if we get our pink concrete, we place it, and it is not going to get hardened until it reaches the bottom, and we can keep on placing it. Oh yeah, this kind of broke the whole thing, but you get the point. If you don't place blocks way too fast, then you're going to be able to just get your slice of concrete where you want it. And now, if you get a lever or a way of sending a signal above, you can see that if we start our TNT Duper, let's try to get it just one. When it falls, it blows up the concrete, and that pretty much does it for the whole system. I set out to make a super simple concrete hardener and destroyer, and it is, well, I'm not going to say it's super simple. It's always easier to just break it by hand, but at least this is going to give you an AFK way without breaking your pickaxes. And you can always make it a little bit fancier, either using one of those wall piston feed tapes that we have over there. You can check the tutorial for the mud farm that we made, or you can check the OMG craft video where they explain the piston feed tapes and how to make a wall out of this and just get more concrete out of this system. And the other tip that I need to give is this hole over here, because this is not just for avoiding the destruction of the world with the TNT. It also works as a collection system. The big problem that this has is that you're going to need to make it deeper, because the TNT is going to blow up more or less over here. If there is some concrete that is staying on that block, it is going to be destroyed by the TNT. So just make it a little bit deeper, make the storage system as big as you need. But yeah, that's actually the last tip that I have to give. And with that, we have made the simple concrete breaker. Well, the concrete maker is the simple thing. The TNT Duper is a tricky one, but at the same time, it just works so well that it's worth it. Just go for it. So this is going to be all for the second tutorial in a row, and second out of 3, because right next to this video you're going to see the one for the nether wood farm. But that is, whoa, that's a change. But yeah, that is going to be all for this tutorial. Let me know how it works for you in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.